We have a full collection of lightweight beanies that are perfect for warm weather, and the number one question we get is if it's okay to wear a beanie in the summer. The simple answer is yes, but we're going to talk about that in today's video. Hey, what's up guys? I'm Brian with King and Fifth, and we take beanies serious so you don't have to. I've been making beanies since 2009, so if you wear a beanie on a regular basis, consider subscribing. Eunice asks, I want to buy a beanie for the summer in New York City, but since it's extremely hot out, I need to know which is literally your most lightweight, your least warm, and also available in an XL size. I would also like it to be extremely slouchy. I have a big head and most beanies do not slouch properly on me. Can you tell me which product fits all my needs? Okay, so that's a great question, and it's kind of a weird concept. Beanie in the summer, the most common reaction is WTF. I remember the first time I saw someone wearing a beanie in the dead of summer, and that's definitely what I said. It was around 2009, 2010, way back when I first started my company. It's like over 10 years ago. I was in Chicago, around Wicker Park area, and I saw this girl. She was wearing a beanie. It was like a heavy gauge, super chunky beanie, and it was something like 85 degrees out, probably even hotter. So of course, my initial reaction is WTF. My WTF was different. It was why, not what. Why is she wearing a crochet beanie, heavy gauge, super high surface hair that's made for warm weather? She should be wearing a fine gauge cotton beanie. Sounds ridiculous, right? And remember, this is way back when I first started my company. We didn't even have a lightweight collection. But I started to notice a pattern. People were wearing their beanies outside of the traditional time frame. Past winter, through this transition of the season, into the summer. But the problem was they were wearing their heavyweight, winter weight beanies, which does not make any sense. So as a business owner, I'm just thinking to myself, why hasn't anyone made a beanie that's suitable? No skate brands make them. No department stores carry them. You can't get a lightweight beanie anywhere, but people are wearing beanies when it's warm. Okay, so fast forward a couple years, we have a full collection of lightweight beanies now, and they sell all year long. They make up a decent part of our business, and they're here to stay. So luckily, I don't have to be the one to answer the question. Our customers have done it for us. But I'm not gonna leave you hanging. Can you wear a beanie in the summer? My answer is yes, but it does come with somewhat of a caveat. It's not exactly cut and dry. It's definitely not the case where you can only wear a beanie from November to February and when it's super cold. At the same time, I'm not exactly the type of guy that's gonna wear a beanie when it's 90, 95 and the humidity is really high. So that's where you have to be conscious of the right conditions. But if you're a diehard beanie wearer, props to you, I'm all for it, you do you. So you do have to be conscious of the conditions. What's the weather like outside? What season is it? But more importantly, there's a shift. Beanies aren't just worn for function now. They're looked at more as of a hat. It's an accessory. Now we're gonna talk about the top things you need to know when shopping for a summer beanie or a lightweight beanie. Number one, your location. Based on where you live in the country, you have different weather. My brother lives in Oceanside, California. I've definitely been there in July, on the beach at night, and I've had a beanie on. It's kind of chilly at night. It just happens sometimes. Sometimes it's warm, sometimes it's cold. If it's cold, I'm wearing a beanie. I live in the Midwest, and it's late May. Every morning when I take my kids to daycare, I usually throw a beanie on because it's chilly. As the day progresses, it warms up to something around 70 degrees. And so some days I might take my beanie off, but some days I'll just leave it on. It depends on how comfortable I am. So ultimately, it's based on your situation. But the most important point is that you need to be wearing a beanie that's made out of the right fiber content. And that's what we're gonna get into on our next point. Okay, point number two, fiber content. You're gonna need a beanie that's gonna breathe, especially if the temperature is transitioning during the day. We generally make our beanies out of cotton for two reasons. One, it's because it breathes. It's just more suitable for warmer weather. The second is it has a low surface hair, which results in somewhat of a dry hand feel, rather than something that's soft and lofty and normally found in a cold weather beanie. Other suitable fibers could be bamboo or linen, and we're currently working on those. And recently we've been developing with a new man-made fiber that's phenomenal. You gotta check this out. I know you can see me. So this beanie's still in development. It definitely takes a lot of time and effort to get it right. But when it is available, I'll make sure to link it in the comments below. Point number three, yarn size. You need a yarn size that's somewhere around 32S, 40S, or 48S. The higher the number, the smaller the yarn size. Wait a second, how the heck am I supposed to know what yarn size my beanie's made of? Well, you're not. You're the customer. That's my job. You need something that's easy and just right, and that's why I'm making this video. In my opinion, I feel like most other companies get this wrong. It's very important, and it's either they just don't put the time and effort into their development, or maybe they just don't care. But regardless, I guess that's all in my favor. So for us, it always starts with sourcing the right type of yarn and making sure to knit it appropriately depending on the season that the customer is ultimately going to want to wear their beanie. It can become extremely complex, but from a surface level, just know you need to have a thin beanie that's made out of the appropriate fiber content. If it looks like a winter weight beanie, it probably is. So you just need to keep searching for the right style. Here, check this out. I got our Forte lightweight on the right, and I got our Forte on the left. Can you see the difference? That's a stack of 10 beanies made for different seasons. You can see the obvious difference. Starts with the weight. So it's obvious right off the bat, you just need to have a beanie that's thin. And point number 4, elastane. Does your beanie have elastane? Does it need elastane? And for those of you who do not know, elastane is basically spandex. Spandex is just a branded name, while elastane is the actual technical name. So again, we don't always have to add elastane into a beanie, but what I've found is that the majority of the fibers that are more appropriate for warm weather and that breathe really well, oftentimes they blow out. And by blow out, I mean the perimeter will stretch out or blow out and not retain its shape. And it will usually happen a lot sooner when compared to a winter weight beanie. This is always a case-by-case scenario. You have to sample the beanie, you have to knit it in different gauges, you have to test different yarn sizes. You have to really find the right combination to find out how is the yarn going to behave, especially when you wear it during the warm weather. Because when you're wearing a beanie in warm weather, you're also going to perspire. The beanie's going to absorb the oils from your head. That too changes the dynamics of the yarn properties. When you start to add moisture into yarn, it loses its structural integrity. So all these factors have to be considered when we're sampling and deciding if we're going to add elastane into the beanie. Most of you probably haven't really seen a beanie that has elastane. A lot of companies just don't take the time and effort to develop their beanies as much as we do. The other thing is it's extremely difficult. It adds a whole other element to the knitting process, and it definitely can't be just something that you just add in. Can't be taken lightly. But if you get it right, it looks something like this. This is our lightweight beanie, the Mason. See how it stretches and recovers? It has a really nice snap to it. Because this is cotton, if I don't have this elastane in the beanie, it's gonna stay out to here, and it's just gonna grow over time. And so I'm wearing the Mason beanie right now as well. And I just wanna show you how it snaps. It feels really comfortable, super soft, and lightweight. And that's how it should fit, especially if it's cotton. Question of the day, have you ever worn a beanie in the spring or summer? What about wearing it inside? Do you ever wear it to the office? Do you ever wear it when you're just hanging out at the house? What about overheating? I know I can't stand it when I overheat and I have to take my beanie off. Sometimes I just want to wear it all the time. Let me know in the comments below. Okay guys, that's it. That's everything you need to know when looking for a lightweight beanie and whether or not you can wear a beanie in the summer. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. Hit the like button if you thought this video was useful. And until next time, start wearing better beanies.